agree that the business case for water storage in Hawke's Bay is compelling. And I have to say that I was moved by Councillor Hewitt's passionate speech. I think it was the best speech that's ever been given in this council. She spoke from her heart and she spoke for her people. And I'd also like to acknowledge the support, the local support that has coming out of Central, and that they've turned up today here is quite a marvellous contribution to the democratic process. I would really love to be able to support this particular project in Ruataniwha, but you have made it impossible for me. Despite continually trying to understand the business plan and the financials, I have been thwarted at practically every turn in my request for detailed information. I have still not seen any real information around the construction contract. The only reference to a cash flow that I have seen was a one-pager overhead of a summary cash flow commencing 2022. I have never seen any profit and loss budgets or pro forma balance sheets. I have never seen the farmer contract, and we had some discussion on that previously, although I am told it is in farmers' hands. I find it incredible that farmers have that contract and we don't. In fact, all the above information has been seen by others, hopefully at least, but for some reason it has been denied to councillors who are now extraordinarily expected to make this huge commercial decision without it. Some of you may be happy delegating the responsibility to allocate 80 million of Hawke's Bay ratepayers' capital to others. But I am not, without understanding all the factors of risk to benefit in the business model. It is also fair to say that I am deeply concerned that investors with far more expertise in this industry sector than I, and who have had the privilege of seeing all the financial information, have withdrawn from investing in this project. You are asking me to jump off Tomato Peak without a parachute, to take a leap of faith in the judgment of others, to give away my fiduciary duties to people who are not elected and are not accountable to my constituents, and I will not do it. This has been a litany of poor process, and we need to stop it now and start over again with a clean sheet of paper, because like some of the previous speakers, I am a very strong supporter of water storage, and I think water storage is a wonderful concept for all of Hawke's Bay, and probably especially Central Hawke's Bay, but I do not support this particular project as it's been presented to me.
Thank you, Councillor. Keep working. Thank you. Keep working down the table. Councillor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I wish to speak in favour of the motion. This has been a very long journey with me. It has started probably at least 11 years ago, and I really wish to pay tribute to Ross Bramwell for the leadership he showed, and actually first investigating and identifying that the results of the IPCC on climate change in this area was clearly demonstrating the urgency for need of water storage in this area. Since then, we've travelled far. I've heard the expectations of the community for improved flows in the river and improved water quality. I've heard of the stress of the drought on irrigators and the effect that even under existing conditions, security supply was getting less and less, and should we up the minimum flows, then it was really at risk. I've been through the search for a number of suitable sites. The plan was quite different when it started out. It was for a series of small community, or much smaller community schemes, and they couldn't be found. And I've been through extensive consultation. I want to start with the consultation that we did on establishing a water strategy, and the support even at the outset at that from all of those present was for water storage. But following by the end of that particular two-day seminar and study, that the support had moved overwhelmingly in favour of water storage and the recognition of the need for it. And so we have continued on this journey with the public, actually trying to follow the needs of the community very closely with what was put forward from that strategy. I've been through various stakeholder groups, both on the catchment, Tukituki catchment, and the Ruataniwha water stakeholder group, representing council, representing their views to the stakeholders and listening to the stakeholders, and that was right across the board of all the stakeholders viewed back. The decision today is actually about investment. We've already reached the decision on identifying the option of building the RWSS, the dam and the distribution scheme. This is about whether this council actually puts the up to 80 million in it. Again, I've been through a lot of consultation on this. I attended 7 of the information meetings, listening to the views of those communities. I spoke at Grey Power, there were 60 people present there, and listened to the views from there. Throughout the election time, I listened to the views of a wide range of the business community and the commercial, the inner city businesses, and I've read and considered all the submissions. This is a decision of Hawke's Bay people to invest their money in it, and it's the submissions are up to those in Hawke's Bay to decide, not the global community. There has been referred today that there was a petition taken by the Green Party, and perhaps the Green Party should take note of the fact that they really need to be far more careful in their submissions, that they identify where people are from, because all our written submissions people gave a written address and identified where they were from. On that petition, there was no identification at all. And in fact, going through because I did have a look at the emails, and there were people from Russia, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Holland, UK, France, Italy, Croatia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Australia, Western Samoa and US. And I guess right throughout New Zealand. They are not the people of Hawke's Bay. And it's the people of Hawke's Bay that we should be listening to. The submissions called, and I do want to address some of the factors that haven't actually been, because we didn't put these questions to the staff, but some of the other factors that the submissions did call for. And that was the on-farm storage, and while it covered the cost of on-farm storage as not being economical in terms of the loss of land, one of the things that I do say is be careful what you ask for, because by going to this community storage and by the stringent conditions which you can see in the deed of concession, the cumulative effects of that water storage can be controlled. You can't control it by a series of small ones. We've had the best of breed of information of this, and in particular, I'd like to refer to the port submission on identifying the ability to take the margins at both ends. We're up. This is to me, a very secure.
I'm going to have to stop you there, Councillor.
Right. Well, I would just like to say I believe that we're investing for the future, and I'm proud to do so.
Thank you. Councillor Dick, do you wish to speak? I'll take a chance to speak. I don't have any notes, so bear with me, but I do get 5 minutes, although I am controlling the timer, so it might be 6, you never know.
Press start then.
Press start, okay. Fair enough, there you go. Open process, Councillor Barker, yeah, fair enough. Oh, I don't need that long. I think this has been a heck of a process for the Regional Council, and one thing that seems to be keep getting forgotten in all this is we have a whole range of normal chores that we actually go about our business with. This is a big, complex organisation filled with some of the country's best staff, and I make that unequivocal statement. And we have the best on show at the moment with HBRC. We've got some of Australia's best helping us. We've got National Australia Bank looking at the finances. I mean, we didn't touch on some of the conditions that have to be met in here before we get to financial close. Incredible amount of work still to be done, an incredible amount of analysis by very experienced people. Let's make no bones about it. This is not a haphazard journey at all. Today's the day where you say, I support water storage or I don't. It's as simple as that. There is no ifs or buts in this. We're going to earmark a chunk of money, and it's a farming term that some of you may get, to make sure it's available and allocated to a process that has been going on for the last 5 years. The condition precedent are huge. There's a lot of hurdles still to be covered. But the message today is we're sending a competent, coherent message to this region and, dare I say it, New Zealand about investing in the future of Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay's here, we're open, we're ready for business. Bring your money, let's go. The cornerstone investor is saying we're up for this. We're putting the money to one side. The pressure now actually, dare I say it, goes back on others who say, right, well, the council's in, they've allocated the money, we've got to do our bit to make this happen. And there's quite a few people involved in that. So I make no bones about that. This is not frivolous, this is not churlish, this is a clear, competent message of leadership from this council to this region and, dare I say it, New Zealand. And I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm but one voice. There are 9 councillors, Mr Mohi, and a whole range of very competent staff who have driven this process relentlessly. And it's been a big body of work. But don't ever forget, in the meantime, we're still looking at killing the hairy critters on the hill. I'm talking about possums here. Of Napier, amongst other issues. So, you know, we've got a huge workload here. We've run a good process. I don't agree with the process comments, but that's my view, and I'm happy to state that. I'll make one other comment. The regional sports park was built with a $2 million cornerstone investment from the Hawke's Bay Regional Council, and we let them go away and come back and demonstrate to us unequivocally that they had met the requirements that we had as a contributing, if you like, a cornerstone investor in the regional sports park. And without our very firm signal early, they would not have got there. So they could go away, they could do their consenting work, they could do all this other stuff, secure in the knowledge that this council was behind their project. This project's all in-house. HBRC belongs to the people of Hawke's Bay. It's the company that is 100% owned by the Hawke's Bay Regional Council. We're not giving this to others. We're not handing this off to strangers at all. We're tasking some of the country's best people, including the governance of HBRC, and it's very well governed, don't worry about that. It's a company that would be the envy of others, actually. The level of competence in the governance is huge. So we're not handing anything to anyone. We're instructing our team to go and make sure they tick all these boxes. And it's as simple as that. So today, you're either for water storage or you are against. It is as simple as that. You wish to sum up?